All right, so I am about to get on my first podcast interview and share my story of unplanned pregnancy. Um, Only one out of my 5 pregnancies were unplanned, my 5 kids that I do have. But on this podcast, which is the Life Unexpected podcast, I'm going to be sharing my story of having 2 abortions my senior year of high school, and um, how that has impacted my life with guilt, shame, fear, abandonment, rejection. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that. And then, and how, I don't know if I'll get to this part, but how God just recently delivered me from that after the whole Roe versus Wade situation. So, yeah, I am nervous. I feel a little anxious. But I do feel like it's time for me to really begin to share this story of mine and let it be a testimony to help other women, particularly wives who are in a marriage and have had abortions maybe before they got married or after getting married. And how the enemy uses that against us with guilt and shame and abandonment, and the fact that we have to confess that sin, because that is a sin. Abortion is a sin, whether, some people won't believe that, but abortion is a sin. Abortion is murder. You are shedding blood, whether you knew at the time or not. Most women get abortions because they just feel like they can't handle having a baby, or maybe it was a teenager or whatever, just a time in their lives like, I can't handle having a baby. But the moment you conceive, life is formed, and there's a heartbeat in a living human being. And so here I am, like, not 8 years later, but this happened back in 2004 and 5. So, 2004 to 2014, 10 years. And then, so 10. So for 17, 18 years, I've been dealing with this abortion in a way that I didn't even realize that it was being used against me. So wondering why, I'm dealing with anger and bitterness and abandonment issues and fear and rejection and, no joy. Like, the enemy uses abortion to plant seeds to steal our joy and our peace and make us feel guilty about everything that we do, and we don't want to be abandoned. And so my story is that when I did get my abortions, my mom took me to get both. She convinced me to get both, and she told me that, there was so much shame and guilt and fear around it because I had gotten pregnant. So therefore, like, now my parents know that I was having sex before marriage. And then I didn't want to be abandoned by my parents, which I was already abandoned the moment my father found out. He didn't talk to me. It was like I didn't exist. So here we go.